comes our bodyguard. Good morning. The February the 19th, 2024 work session for the Douglas County Board of Commissioners will come to order. Welcome, citizens of Douglas County. County Clerk, can you please take the roll for the record?
Yes, sir. Commissioner District 1, Ricky Dobbs.
Present.
Commissioner District 4, Mark Alcaraz.
Present.
Chairman Phil Miller.
I'm here. Do we need to defer back to you for the agenda adoption?
Yes, sir, I do have one minor change. On number 12, the item should just read approval to designate an authorized signer to deposit and/or withdraw funds from Truist Bank.
Okay. As a reminder, each commissioner will have 3 minutes to make remarks and 2 minutes for rebuttal. Clerk, did we have anyone sign up to speak this morning?
We did not, Chairman.
Okay. Financial report. Please prepare to accept January's financial report during tomorrow's commission meeting. We will now begin with our agenda items. Clerk, please begin with the first agenda item.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow we will have a public hearing for authorization to abandon approximately .87 acres of right-of-way on Old Liberty Road and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Director Solomon Rana is here to discuss this.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Board, and Administration. The subject property is in the vicinity of Liberty Road at Ephesus Church intersection. Mr. Everett petitioned for right-of-way abandonment, and he's one of the owners of the 3 adjoining parcels. The lot may have been used as a roadway, but has been unutilized for many decades and has no future use planned in any of our planning documents. The petitioner has pointed out that the area has been used for illegal dumping, and he's acquiring it for privacy reasons. DOT is recommending abandonment of the parcel. The public hearing was advertised twice in the past 2 weeks, and the hearing is scheduled for tomorrow. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Any comments? Any questions? All right. Thank you.
Okay. With our business items, we have number 6, authorization to approve the 2023 Equitable Sharing Agreement and Certification for Douglas County District Attorney's Office, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Laura Thompson.
Morning,
ma'am.
everyone. Yes, this is our federal asset fund that we receive forfeitures from. And this is just our certification every year that we report back to the Department of Justice.
Okay. Comments? Questions?
No, Chairman.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank y'all. Have a good day.
Okay, number 7, authorization for the chairman to execute an employment agreement with Bethany Casa as an assistant public defender in the public defender's office to be funded through the department's 2024 budget pending final legal review. Monica Miles.
Morning.
Good morning. This is a request we had a vacancy for one of our attorneys, and we're wanting to fill that position with Bethany Casa, and it's a request to approve the contract for her employment.
Okay. Questions? Comments? Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Number 8, approval of a contract with Douglas County Sheriff's Office and Flock Group, Inc. for 90 license plate reading cameras in the amount of $397,191.78 to be funded through the Sheriff's Office budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Lieutenant Colonel Pounds.
Good morning.
Morning.
So we got a total of 90 flock cameras with 3 different contracts with 3 different expiration dates. So we're going to sign a contract for 5 years at the same rate of $2,500 per camera for 5 years, and we won't have to worry about getting flock cameras until 5 years from now. At the completion of these contracts, the cameras will go from $2,500 to $3,000 a piece, but we're locked in at $2,500 rate for now and over this 5 years. It'll save us of $225,000 over 5 years. We also will receive credit for $52,808.22 that will go towards the first year's payment. So for year one, instead of having to pay $225,000, we'll pay $172,191.78. And from year 2 through 5, it'll be $225,000.
That's great. We have 90, that's
Yes,
how
sir.
many cameras we have.
Yes, sir.
Well, you need 190, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a great tool. Any comments, any questions?
No, just real quick, I'm sure you don't have this on you, but just roughly, do you know about how, with these 90 cameras, how successful it's been in regards to solving cases?
Sure. I can tell you from this last month. In January, there were 16 cases used we used Flock for. Out of those, 14 total arrests were made and 2 warrants were taken. 7 wanted persons, stolen vehicles that were recovered were 9. 3 total firearms and stolen tags recovered were 2. The value of the vehicles recovered was $174,927. So
Fantastic.
it is a great tool, like Chairman Miller said, helped us in numerous amounts of cases.
That's great. I appreciate that,
Yes,
Lieutenant
sir.
Colonel.
That's awesome. Any comments, other comments or questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 9, authorization to accept .121 acres of right-of-way donation on Lake Monroe Road from Open Concepts Georgia, Inc., and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Director Rana.
Excuse me. This is for a minor subdivision development on Lake Monroe Road off of Pope Road. This is development of 4 parcels. This was a 4-acre lot divided into 1 acre each for 4 houses. Lake
Director,
Monroe.
I'm sorry. Can you speak closer into the microphone? Having
Sorry,
trouble hearing
I'll
you.
start over. This is a minor subdivision development on Lake Monroe Road off of Pope Road, right across from Marjorie Lane. This was a 4-acre lot that was subdivided into 1 acre each for 4 houses. The right-of-way was deficient for existing conditions with 40 feet only. Development proposes donation of 10 feet additional right-of-way to make it compliant to our UDC. Thank you.
Any comments or questions? Thank you, sir.
Okay. Number 10, authorization to award a consulting services contract in the amount of $90,048.68 to C.D. Smith pursuant to RFQ 23-019 for independent cost estimate services for federally funded projects to be funded from DOT's budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Director Rana.
DCDOT was certified as a LAP agency, and what that does is it allows us to receive and execute federal dollars in-house. As a condition of that certification is that we must prepare independent cost estimates for all federally funded design projects. CDM was procured as our on-call consultants pursuant to the on-call RFQ. We're requesting to utilize their services to prepare independent cost estimates for our upcoming 4 federal projects. Thank you.
Questions or comments? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Number 11, authorization to enter into an agreement with Douglasville, Douglas County Water and Sewer Authority in the amount of $290,104 in connection with the water main relocation on Highway 5 at Douglas Boulevard to be funded from the 2016 SPLOST funds, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Director Rana.
This deals with our upcoming project on Highway 5, which is to add a right turn lane. The project was advertised for bid. Bids closed recently, so we would have a contractor very soon. In the project limits, there exists a 660 linear feet of water main owned by WSA that has prior rights. For our project to go in, this main must be relocated. WSA does have prior rights for this water main, so they must be reimbursed for that cost. And the amount listed, $290,000, $104 is the quoted amount by the contractor. So we'll be reimbursing this amount to WSA. Thank you.
Okay. Comments? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 12, approval to designate an authorized signer to deposit and/or withdraw funds from Truist Bank. Rosalind Miller.
Good morning. Due to Vice Chair's resignation, this is to update our signature cards on file with the bank.
Thank you. Comments, questions? Okay.
Okay, and number 13, we have vice chair election, and I'm going to turn it over to Michael Coleman.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, I wanted to explain that the policy adopted by the Board of Commissioners and amended last year provides that a vice chair will be elected every 2 years with service to start in the year after election. The previous Vice Chairman Carthen was elected in 2022. So it would be, under the policy, the board would need to elect a new chairman this year for service to start at the beginning of 24. So it'll be for service for 2 years in 24 and 25, but the election is in 23. That's how it was set up. That's how it has been working. So given where the way the policy reads now, we would need to elect vice chairman this year at the beginning of the year to serve for 2 years beginning in 24 and 25. And then we'd also need to elect someone to fill the remainder of the Vice Chair Carthen's term. So that's how the policy currently works. And so that would be, I think we would need to conduct 2 separate elections. One to fill the term, the unexpired term, and secondly to fill the new position for starting in 24. Does anybody have questions about that?
No,
I do.
I think I'm pretty clear.
Okay.
Any comments, questions?
I think
Commissioner Dobbs had one.
Commissioner Dobbs.
Commissioner Dobbs.
Okay, just a bit confused on when you say, because I remember when I think we looked at it back in either November or December, this policy here. And
Yes.
I think I was a bit confused there too, because the way I thought it was going to be, they had a vote in 2022, and it's supposed to be every 2 years. And I believe before it said some nomenclature as far as to be, except for when there's a gubernatorial or like the governor or presidential election, like it was supposed to line up with that. But you said the vote is supposed to happen in 2023. So does that mean, because I think the verbiage in there said in January is when the vote happens. So if in 2023 we vote for it, does that mean that it should have been voted on in 2023? When was it exactly that the vote happened and Commissioner Carthen was elected the vice chair? Was that January of 23 or was that in 2022 January?
She was elected in 2022. I don't remember which month, but during the meeting, after she was elected, during the meeting there was discussion and the board agreed that her term would start in 2023, even though she was elected in 2022. Her term would start in 2023 and be for 2023 and 2024. The election that is to happen in this year, which is every 2 years, is to be the 2 years after that, would be an election in 2024 to start in 2025 and to serve 2025 and 2026.
Okay, so is there because that overlapping makes it, because then it's like, if it's 2 years from 2022, then that means the election should happen in 2022, 26, 28. But my opinion is that if that's the case, we should have the election in that January of that, even year. And then after the election, then that encompass that even year and then the odd year. And then we have the election again on the even year. the following even year. So you do every 2 years, because that piece where she was elected or they voted on her in 2022 and then she started in 23, and then that encompassed 2 years, that throws off the election to me. I don't know if that makes sense to everybody else, but I feel like that kind of throws it off.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. So to be clear, I think the way it was set up, and this was set up by the board itself, that an election happens in an even number year. And it will start the following year, which is an odd number year, and serve that year.
So then that
23 and 24. But
So that would
the new
mean we
election
would
be
need to
happening in
do-
24 to serve 25 and 26. So every even number year, there's an election, and the term of service is 2 following years, but the election for the next year happens in an even number year, even though the term of the previously elected person is still going on. There's still an election in that even number year. So there would be an election, under the policy, an election in 2024.
Okay, so that means we probably would need to change the date that we vote on it from January to somewhere towards the end of that even number year. Because if we vote on it of 2024 in January, then that's a whole year, unless it was deemed to be that way to allow a year of turnover. But I think, if you have the election in January, then that's a whole year of that even number, the way you don't, you take over and relinquish your duties at the January of the following year.
Well, certainly,
know.
as a policy, the board can amend the policy to work any way it wishes. So, but I think right now, the way it reads is exactly what you said. There's an election in January of that even number year. It's a whole year of just, and I think apparently it was designed for transition purposes. That's what I would assume. To allow, and I think there was some discussion about that, to allow for the new person to transition into the role that year. And then they would start serving the following year for 2 years.
Okay.
But-
And one thing too, I think we should do, I think we should look at that policy again, because I believe the way I remember reading it, and I could be wrong, but when we look at it, we can, decide this before tomorrow. When I read it before, I believe it was just for this first term. I believe because of the special circumstance of when they voted on it and when it was supposed to happen. That next term of voting wasn't supposed to happen until after the presidential and the governor's election year. Because I believe that's what I remember reading. Because I remember I had a point of discussion about that as well.
So let me read what the policy says exactly.
Okay, yeah, that will help.
The Board of Commissioners shall select a vice chair by majority vote at its first meeting in January 22 and every 2 years thereafter. The effective date of the new selection, however, should be at the beginning of the term following the next presidential or gubernatorial election. Then in parentheses, i.e., the selection is for a 2-year term that starts the next year, in paren. The new selection shall also take the vice chair oath of office in order to assume duties. That's the language, exact language from the policy. That is consistent with what I described.
Okay, now that piece about the presidential and the gubernatorial.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly why that language was put in. I think it can be a little confusing, but the parenthetical is designed to clarify that by pointing out that the selection is for a 2-year term that starts the next year.
Okay, yeah, because I know, because they're on a 4-year term also. So it'll be one term where, you know, it won't apply. So, yeah, that's why I thought it was a specific case that was put in there for this one to allow, you know, with it being 2024. But okay.
No,
Uh,
and that's, I mean, that's the language of the policy. Now, I will say again that the board does have the authority to amend the policy. It is a policy and subject to amendment by the board.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Chairman, I yield.
Thank you.
Okay. I guess we should open the nominations.
Yes, sir, we should have two elections, one to nominate someone to fill the
To
unexpired term.
finish out the term this year.
Yes.
Do we have any nominations?
I have a nomination.
Okay. Commissioner Dodd.
I nominate Chairman Mark Alvarez to be the vice chair. And well, never mind. That's it for now.
Okay.
The other part, I guess, we could we handle that part for tomorrow, or we handle them both right now, County Attorney.
I think the vote should occur at the meeting tomorrow.
Okay. Just recommendations now and then vote tomorrow? Or you want to recommend tomorrow also?
I would say let's just do the whole thing in one meeting tomorrow. That'd be
Okay,
my
all right,
recommendation.
that's good.
rather than-
All right. All right. Anything else? Any commissioner comment? Do we need to go into executive session?
Very brief executive session, very, very brief, to discuss a real estate matter.
Okay. Need a motion to go into executive session?
Chairman, I make a motion to go into executive session for a real estate matter.
We have a motion, do I
A
have a
second.
second? We have a motion, a second. All in favor?
Uh,
All right. All right, we're in executive session.
This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you for coming.
May I invite James Worthington to